Alrighty, welcome everybody. It's Sam Crowley to the Speaker Live Speaker Webinar. Great to have. Just chatting with some of the great people on. Good crowd tonight. Well, let's get going. It's Wednesday night here in Ohio. Different parts of the world, wherever you are. I am honored that you chose to spend some time learning about the power of building your very own speaker business and how to sell from the platform. So here we go, guys. I'm going to fire through these slides. You're in the right place if you have a burning desire to get your message out to a live audience. And by the way, any questions you got, fire them right into the question box when there's a time to pause in this presentation, which there'll be a lot of that. I'll answer your questions as soon as they come in. And when the time is right, we'll knock them out. All right. If you have a burning desire to get your message out, you're in the right place. You want to earn more in an hour than you're currently earning in a month, maybe 3 months or 6 months speaking. I know that sounds like a bold statement, but I'm going to prove it's true. Okay. And I'm going to take you on a little journey with me that lasted 13 months. And it's going to be pretty well. It's going to shock you because it shocked me. And I couldn't believe it was happening. So I'm going to share with you how that's actually possible. If you know you have a passion to speak, but you're just a little bit unclear maybe on what that exact message should be, no worries. You're in the right spot. You want to get booked to speak on stages? Yes, everybody here should want that. It's easy to do. You just need to know how to do it. And I think I always add this last bullet point in number 5 there because it should be obvious, but look, you got to be willing to do the work. But when you love to speak and you're getting paid to do it, it's not really a lot of work, It just isn't. This is a content-rich training. There's no BS, okay? I'm not going to sit here and waste your time. Your time is valuable. You're not going to be able to get this time back, and I want you to look back and think, wow, I invested that time very well with Sam's training. So, yes, you can get a copy of the recording. I'm going to actually email this out to my list tomorrow. So if you're on my list, which you are, or else you wouldn't have landed here, you're going to get a copy of this. Okay? Good question. Truth. Speaking is simple. It really is. You're passionate about at least one thing. I get a kick out of people saying, I don't know what really I get excited. Come on now. You get excited about a lot of different things. Pick something. You can earn money, make money as a speaker talking about whatever it is that you're passionate about. All right? Don't shortchange yourself. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But I'm going to show you how to cash in using a real simple concept combined with the passion that you have. Real quick, this is the only slide you're going to see about me and my family here, but this is kind of why I do what I do. It's why I launched everydayissaturday.com. On the right is our little miracle baby, Susan. She was born at 1 pound last August at 24 weeks and given really no chance to live. And if she did live, it was going to be about an 85% chance of profound neurological disorder, cerebral palsy, you name it, anything. Think of the worst disease that could happen, and pretty much she was in that category. And you know what? She's doing great. She's on a tracheostomy tube right now, and she's off her ventilator full-time during the day. She only needs it at night. We have a doctor appointment at Children's Hospital actually tomorrow, our monthly appointment with her pulmonologist. Let me tell you something. Whether you take my speaker course, you do anything in your life, understand one thing, miracles happen. And miracles happen every day. I mean, for the grace of God, I've got 4 beautiful daughters. And I'll tell you what, man, I was about the most irresponsible guy growing up in college and just tried to ruin my life along the way and ended up being blessed with a really great family. So on the left is my wife, Angela, with my 4 daughters there, Madeline, Laura, and Paige, as well as Susan. And you know what? That's why I do what I do. Okay. And I do these trainings every Wednesday because I really enjoy speaking and I really enjoy training speakers. And my goal is to train hundreds of 6-figure speakers. So you can enjoy the same type of lifestyle, and thank you. I appreciate that. People typing in the prayers and healing your sin. I really appreciate that. It's a global community. Wow. When news got out about our daughter, Susan, last year, just on Facebook alone, thousands and thousands of people posting all their good prayers and energy and everything they send our way. And you know what, man, there's good people in the world. And I see them all the time, every day, online and offline. No matter what you read, no matter what you see in the news, there's good people in the world. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I launched Every Day is Saturday, and that's why I speak on stages all around the world, because I have the opportunity to do it. I'm free, and I want you to be free. I want you to experience what I'm feeling as well on a stage, just on a stage, okay? What's the difference between a keynote speech and selling from stage? Because there's a couple different ways to make money with your message. You can get paid, $500, $5,000, $20,000 to go speak for a club, an organization, anything like that. We're not going to talk about that this evening, but that is certainly a part of speaking. We're going to talk about how to sell from stage because you can make a lot more money and you have a lot more control over that. Okay. Selling from the stage speaker. You pay your own expenses to and from an event. So if a promoter brings you in, you're going to pay your own airfare, your meals, your hotel, everything like that. But you're going to get all that back when you sell your product from the platform. So don't worry about that. That's just an upfront cost that you're going to incur, all right, until you make all the money that you're going to earn from stage. The second bullet point, a sell from stage speaker knows how to maneuver effectively between the PowerPoint and the stage presence. You know, when I train speakers, it's funny. A lot of them think they need to have the best looking PowerPoint or at least spend a lot of time. And I'm not saying, you know, your PowerPoint should be garbage, but look at that right there. This is about as sexy as my screen looks. And I'm talking about when I speak in front of 2,000 people overseas, okay? Because I want the focus to be on me and my energy, and you want the focus to be on you and on your energy, okay? People are going to look at your slide, and they're going to look at that to make sure it backs up what you're saying. That's all. It's not a crutch. It's just, it's a few bullet points. Photos, pictures are really good to use on slides. A lot of good photos are to be used. Videos, especially with testimonials. But look, a great sell from stage speaker, very little time on the PowerPoint, lots of time on the stage presence, all right? You're going to deliver amazing content from stage and then invite the audience to further the training by purchasing your product. Here's the deal. The best speakers who make the most money from stage, he or she will deliver 90% content. I mean, really good content on their topic. And then at the end, the last 10%, and I'll show you how to do this later on in this presentation tonight, they're going to ask the crowd, those interested, to further their education. And if you loved what you heard over the first 75 minutes, the last 15 minutes, the speaker is going to close from the platform, which is a great thing. It's not a bad thing to close from the platform. And ask people to invest in their product or their service. And I'm going to show you what the best-selling products from the stage are in just a little bit as well. Guys, there's nothing wrong with selling from stage when you do it the right way. Now, if you're brought in via a promoter, and for example, you signed an agreement, they brought you in to speak at their event, you're typically going to have, and it's leaning more towards 60-40 now, because it's more difficult to get people to get on an airplane and get away from their family for 3 or 4 days to go to a live event, because there's a lot of these, what you're on right now, webinars going on. Back in the day, 20 years ago, you'd go to an event and see Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, or somebody like that. Now you can catch the thought leaders that you follow online doing a webinar. So the promoter knows that. They're going to take a 60-40 split. They get 60%, you get 40% of the sales. Still, it's a great payday. And the last bullet point there, a sell from stage speaker is going to have a large back end. And what that means is the product you sell from the stage, it's just the very first experience, the transaction that you're going to have with that customer, where you're going to walk them through your own personal funnel when you get back home. And it's not the only product. If you do your job the right way, it's not the only time that they're going to buy. And I'm talking about $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 programs that your clients are going to purchase from you, sometimes $100,000 programs when you set it up the right way, all right? But none of this is going to happen when you're a keynote speaker, all right? Keynote speaker, you're going to go in, you're going to get a check for $2,000. Whether you deliver the best presentation they've ever heard or whether it's the worst, it doesn't matter. You're getting your check for $2,000, but you're not getting anybody's email addresses. You're not following up. There's no back-end sales. You're not selling from the platform. When you sell from the platform, you have pretty much a limitless supply of revenue coming in. All right, hope that makes sense because it's a very important point. Why do people fail as a speaker? Well, those bullet points right there, they lack confidence. They say, I'm not a well-known name, therefore nobody wants to hear me speak. Well, that's not true. Some of the best speakers on the circuit right now that are earning at least 6 figures in a 90-minute presentation, you've never heard of them, I guarantee you that. And they're crushing it because they know the subject. There's a difference. You don't need to be a famous astronaut, a movie star, athlete. They make $30,000, $50,000 keynote appearance fees. You can make $150,000 in a 90-minute presentation because of the content that you deliver, and you are the expert in that space. It's very important to understand that, okay? Certainly, I'm not a household name, not even close, and yet I'm earning more than any buddy you would find in a speaker association, movie star, athlete type of fee, and it's awesome. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Question coming in from John. Are all the programs you sell from the platform as well as your back-end products all digital? Pretty much. Yep, all digital. Digital being defined as MP3 files, movies, video, membership, webinars, those types of things. Yep. Another myth is I need to be a member of a speaker bureau or an association to be a professional speaker. That's not true at all. You know what you need to be a professional speaker? You need to be able to tell people when they say, hey, what do? You say, I'm a speaker, trainer, seminar leader. That's it. That's it. Raise your hand. I'm in. I'm in the game now. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Sam Crowley. I'm a speaker, trainer, seminar leader. Here I am. What are people going to say? No, you're not. I mean, come on. That's all you need to do. Now, I'm not saying that there's no value in being a member of a speakers bureau. I'm saying you don't need to be to launch your career and earn a significant income. I still have yet to join any speaker association, all right? And I've been doing this the better part of 6 years. Selling from the stage. Selling from the platform is not my cup of tea. I'm not a salesperson. Well, I would beg to differ. I think you are a salesperson. Whether you're married, if you're married, somebody got sold in that relationship. That's what I tell my wife all the time. One of us got sold in this relationship 20 years ago. Business partners. And look, just every single day, guys, you're out selling something, whether it's yourself, whether it's your product, but ultimately you're selling yourself even when you are selling a product. So when you sell from the platform, all you're doing is now you're taking this incredible passion, and I mean the thing that wakes you up at 3 a.m, the thing that you just can't let go of, that's been gnawing at you for so long. Now you get an opportunity to share that with hundreds of individuals and thousands of people all around the world and earn significant income. And you're not selling, you're inviting them to tap into your intellectual property, to your experience. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Imagine going from this. It's just an insecure, skinny kid from Bradford, PA. That was me. Debilitating stuttering problem. That's me. Couldn't speak very well till well after my teenage years. I don't have any prior speaking experience. As you can tell, I talk fast. I trip over words. I'm not really that eloquent. Just passionate, man. Just really, really passionate. And if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you, you can do it better than I'm doing it. I'll tell you that right now. And I had no connections on the speaking circuit. I didn't know anybody, but yet I launched a pretty good thing going on, and I'm going to show you what the numbers are like so far and take you in the back office. And you're probably going to be shocked. You're like, wow, this guy's doing this? Of course I can do it then. So going from all of that stuff to really sharing the stage with a who's who, Bob Proctor in Hawaii, Les Brown in Chicago, Robert Kiyosaki in LA, sharing stages, really headlining some stages as well. All because of what I'm going to show you tonight. There's really 3 key components that got me to where I am today. And guys, starting with no momentum, and I mean that, no momentum. I just created this momentum from the 3 steps I'm going to show you tonight. And it's pretty cool, so pay attention. This is really cool stuff. Here it is, 3 critical components. You need a powerful message, which you have, and I'll help you craft that. And oh, by the way, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but at the end of this webinar, I'm going to offer you an opportunity to work with me inside the Speaker Success Vault. Whether you do or whether you don't end up taking me up on that amazing offer, by the way, I want you to write down these 3 components that you need. You need a powerful message, you need a targeted audience, and you need a high converting product. That's it. Okay, don't overthink this speaking business. Okay, you don't need anything more than that. Now, of course, there's components to each one of these 3. That's where the Speaker Success Vault comes into play. But I'm going to walk you through this, how to navigate these waters. So when you're done here and you leave in a few minutes, you're going to have the knowledge to get going with your own speaking business. Okay? The first thing, a powerful message. I have a powerful message, Sam, but here we go again. But my story is not unique or powerful enough. Yes, it is. First of all, it is unique. The very fabric, of our being is unique. Unfortunately, though, we all die a copy. We're born original, but somehow we all manage to die a copy, or most people do. That's not you. You have a very unique story. You have no idea what you're going to speak about? No problem. We'll develop that. You have an idea. You're just not really crystal clear on what that is. Not a big deal. I get nervous in front of a room of people. So do I. I still get nervous. I wouldn't call it so much nerves now. It's more anxious, like, come on, let's get this thing going. But the only reason you would be nervous in front of a group of people, if you are, and some people are, I still am, is because you think, well, something may not work right. My clicker might not work. What if the slides don't advance? Hey, let me tell you something. I've had just about everything go wrong on the stage, and the sun still came up the next day. And no worries there. I have so many ideas, I don't know which one is best. That's okay. That's all right. We'll pick one. No big deal. No confidence, no experience. Well, one breeds the other. With experience come confidence, all right? And so you have to get started. Like Brian Tracy says, you don't have to be great to start. You got to start to be great, right? Here's my answer to all of these, going way back to this one, the powerful message. Take inventory of your life. If you want a powerful message, think back over the last 20 years. And do this real quick exercise in your mind, all right? If you want to write it down, you can do that. If you just want to close your eyes, and you can envision this as well. What have people told you? What have people told you that your greatest gift is? Is it the gift of encouragement, of inspiration, of technical knowledge, of video knowledge, of gardening, of cooking, social media now over in the past 5 to 8 years? Have you been somebody who can do that? Admin skills, executive assistant, connecting people. Are you good at connecting people? Do you have the gift of possibly finding a good piece of real estate, antiques? Think about that. Take inventory. There's got to be a common thread woven throughout your story over the last 10 or 20 years where people have said, wow, you're really good at that. You got a real gift there. For me, it was the gift of encouragement. People would tell me all the time at work, wow, you're a really great speaker, Sam. When I listen to you, I get excited. I feel like I can do certain things that I normally wouldn't feel like I could do. And I heard that from one person, then a few people, then more than a few, and then groups of people. And then the company was having me speak in different parts of the organization. And so I launched my own business, everydayissaturday.com. I just said, hey, I'm going to teach people how to make every day Saturday, because for me, my dad left when I was 3 months old. I met him for the first time 3 years ago, and I just wanted to be a dad. That was it. Everybody wants to be a dad, though. So it wasn't anything unique. It's just I wanted to be a dad, and I just wanted to have freedom. And being a speaker has afforded me that freedom in my life to be the father. You see, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg. Which one comes first? Well, you got to get off the fence and actually do something. And then watch as the universe conspires. And I use that word universe lightly. I'm not a big universe guy. However, I do believe in like attracts like. I believe when you take that step to launch your speaking business, there's going to also be an audience that starts to form who's going to be ready to receive your message. Do you believe that? Because I do believe that. I believe that happens. And I think once you take action, that whole like attract like begins to experience, because it's what happened. It's my reality. And I'm not really one of the new age guys, I'm telling you, man, if you see me in the grocery store or at church or mowing my lawn, I'm the same guy you're hearing me on the webinar right now. I don't get into that high level stuff, but I'm telling you, I believe it because it's happened so much in my life. And that's the big thing. I believe you can be on stage. I see you on stage, okay? But do you see you on stage? That's the big critical question, because if the way you feel, and this is kind of a personal development lesson right now, but if the way you feel on the outside is incongruent to how you feel on the inside, you cannot fake it till you make it. That's what people try to do. They're incongruent with their inner self. They don't really believe that they can do that. They don't believe they can earn 20 grand a month, 50 grand a month, $100,000 a month. But they tell people that their greatest days are ahead of them. But again, that whole like attracts like, and the whole everything conspiring around you to make it happen, that's not happening because you are incongruent. So I just want to let you know that's been a big observation that I've seen in a lot of entrepreneurs over the last 10 years of really observing people is most people don't believe what they say until they're by themselves, and it's mostly a defeatist attitude. You can't do that with your speaking career because it's so easy to get going. There's no barrier to entry. Remember, how do you become a speaker? You start telling people, I'm a speaker, trainer, seminar leader. How you doing? All right? So here's the fascinating case study. And I say fascinating because it really was wild. A case study of losing $300 in the very first sell from stage attempt in August of 2010. To earning $218,000 13 months later. And I'm telling you, man, if it wasn't me, I would have never believed this story. And if you just want to eject now from the webinar because you think it's such a bullcrap story, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't even blame you. But it's true because it's my story. It happened. Let me show you how it happened, all right? Chicago, Illinois, August of 2010. Net sales for the day were $500. It cost me $800 to get there and stay for a couple nights. I lost $300, okay? I was invited to speak, and it was my very first time ever in front of you. You're looking, this is actually the event right there. About 200 people there, 250 people there. And the good news is I have up in the upper right-hand corner of this slide was the audience, okay? The audience was amazing. They were hungry for a certain kind of message. Unfortunately, I brought my old every day is Saturday keynote message. Remember, you can't be a keynote speaker on a sell-from-stage platform. It's just, it doesn't work, okay? I brought the motivation. I spent very little time on my product at the end. I was afraid to close. I was afraid to ask for the order. And I just figured because everybody was so motivated, they would go buy. Well, they didn't buy. Nobody bought. Well, one person bought. The negative was my message wasn't congruent, and I didn't really have a good product for the audience. So I ended up collecting $500, and like I said, I spent $800 to get there, and I'm out $300. So what do? Quit? This is terrible. I can't believe I lost $300. I had to be away from my family for 2 nights. No. I went back to the drawing board, and I figured out I need to find a better way, all right, to make this work. So step 2 comes into play. All right, you got to find the right audience. How do you get booked on stages when you don't have experience? Nobody's ever heard of me. I don't have a media kit, a book, or anything else that makes me legit. Here's the answer to all that, okay? Build your resume in your own backyard to start with, okay? You don't need to say, oh my God, I haven't got any calls from promoters or nobody wants me on their stage. Guys, all you need is a little bit of experience, all right? Don't start this self-defeating attitude already because I'm telling you, it's exactly what's going to happen. Here's what I did, all right? I started shooting videos and getting on local TV. By the way, you want to get on your local TV station, I don't care what market you're in. After the 8 o'clock hour, they'll damn near have anybody on TV. Cause I know because I've done it, you know. And if it's gardening, it's cooking. You know, in the summertime, they're out on the grill. Oh, what kind of chicken are we cooking today, Ted? And then, you know, oh, look at this. We have a book review. A local author wrote a book that's, 20 pages. This is great. And get yourself on your local TV, have a good story, and get it out there, And even if you don't get booked on local TV, do your own videos. Shoot your own videos, all right? Just you giving a 3 to 5 minute message and title it. Every one of these videos is titled Cincinnati Motivational Speaker because that's where I live, all right? Cincinnati Motivational Speaker. And when anybody searches in Cincinnati for a motivational speaker in the last 7 years, ta-da! Guess what happens, right? They find my video, and I tell you, this has gotten me at least over 10 grand in keynote fees. Now, I know this isn't a keynote training, but I'm just telling you, to gain experience in your own backyard, shoot some videos, even if it's on your iPhone, load it up to YouTube, put your name of your city, motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, how-to, social media, whatever. Just put the title in the city and put it out there and see how fast you climb up the rankings, all right? All right, back to here. So that eliminates this, how to find an audience, how do I get booked on stages. I'm going to talk more about this in just a little bit as well, though. So I went from this, losing $300, to Orlando, where I lost $1,000. Isn't that awesome? The story's getting better. It's May of 2011, but this was my big breakthrough, and this is why this is a really important slide. All right, I need you to pay attention to this slide. This was the view out my hotel window. Great view. Cost me $1,500 to get that view, but it was a good view. The positive that day was I brought the right message. I had my product all ready to sell. It was my How to Podcast product that I created in between losing that money in Chicago. The negative that day was, though, there really wasn't an audience for me. Okay, and there was only about 20 people in the room, which is a whole different story, okay? But of the 20 people in the room, one of them came up to me afterwards and said, wow, that was an amazing presentation. What's your name again? I said, Sam Crowley. And she said her name was Margene. She said, where have you been hiding out? I've never even heard of you. I said, well, good question. I mean, I haven't really been doing this that long, and I started kind of backtracking. And I said, hey, this could lead to something. I got to, chest out, Sam, head up, let's go. Tell them what you do. I said, well, I'm a speaker, trainer, seminar leader, and I'm an expert in the podcasting niche. She said, podcasting. Wow, that's interesting. Holy cow, I never even knew you could sell and make money with that. I said, yeah. She goes, you're amazing. Can you come to Sydney, Australia in a couple of months? And I said, Sydney, Australia? Where the heck? Really? And I said yes because I'm just conditioned. Any opportunity. It's been ever since I was in high school. I was a kid raising my hand. Who wants to stay and help clean the chalkboards or help after school? And when I got a job, who wants to do this for the boss, drive me to the airport today? I was always raising my hand. So I'm conditioned to raise my hand because I don't ever want to miss an opportunity. And thank God I did, because I know I lost $1,000 that day, and now my career's slowly going downhill. I was in Sydney, Australia, giving the same presentation. Check this out. Net payday that time was $12,000. It was the jackpot, guys. It was the message, the product, and it was the audience. And that's what tonight's training is all about. And this is why I really want you to keen in on this, because once there's the picture of Margina and I, by the way, and there's the Opera House in Sydney. I mean, guys, I was in heaven. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm in Australia, and I made $12,000, and I netted $12,000 just to go to Australia. And previous, I lost $1,000 just 2 months before that. Holy cow! And this will happen for you. You know why it happened? Because in this environment here, where I lost $1,000, there was only 20 people in the room, and I remembered a saying from Joe DiMaggio, and I don't know if any of you follow baseball. I know that's a United States reference, but Joe DiMaggio was the Yankee Clipper, and he played for the New York Yankees. And one of the quotes, they asked him, why do you want to play every day, and why do you play so hard every day? And he said, because there's some kid out there who's never seen me play, and this is his first time at the stadium, and I want to give him his money's worth. And when I was in Orlando, even though there was only about 20 people in the room, and very few people were even there to even buy products, I said, you know what? I'm going to give everything I have today, because there's somebody in this room who's seeing me for the first time, and you never know what can happen. And that's the message from this slide right here. That's what's going to happen for you in a room of 20 people. You are going to be discovered, and somebody's going to see you in your presentation. And when you're trained the right way on how to deliver that presentation, it's magic. I'm telling you, it's absolute magic for you, for your bank account, and for your legacy. Okay, so step number 3, create a high converting product. All right, what do we got? We got the message, we've got the audience, and now we need a high converting product. So let me show you examples of the best selling products from the platform in 2015. All right, live webinar trainings with recordings like what I'm doing right now is one of the most sold products from the platform. So what you'll do is you'll give a great training on whatever your topic is. And guys, please, when you come inside the Speaker Success Vault, I will teach you how to do all of this. Literally hold your hand. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. But when you do live webinar and trainings, what you're doing is you've trained somebody for 75 minutes in the audience. You got 300 people, for example, in the audience. You've given great content that entire time. Well, it only makes sense they're going to want to know how to do this, right? But they're going to go out there and try to find it and Google it and everything, or they can just take your course and have it done for them quickly, effectively, and the right way the first time. And that's the big selling feature, okay? Then there's group and individual coaching. There's the live event. Some real estate investment gurus that I share the stage with, they'll come back to the city that they just spoke in, and they'll do a 2 to 3 day boot camp, for example, and teach people how to do real estate investing. That's just one example, but that's a live event. Is another opportunity for you to sell products from stage. A home study course, which can be a mix between audios that you can create, videos that you can create, PDFs that you can have created for you and delivered all inside of a home study course, backed up with any kind of webinar or group coaching. Okay, any of those 4 are great. The one that I would say is the most work is going to be this one here. It's your live event. All right, that's going to be the most work that you're going to do as a speaker, and it's going to involve more cost. However, there's more energy at a live event, and there's more upsells that happen at a live event. So even though there's a lot more pain, so to speak, in putting it together, there's more revenue on the back end in a live event. And then you get this objection. Sam, I don't know about a table rush. Here's the cheesy way of doing it. You guys know what I'm talking about? How many times have you seen a speaker say this when they're getting ready to close? Okay, I want everybody to stand up and meet me in the back of the room. Who's ready to buy my course? And it's like, oh, God, come on, everybody. How many people are excited right now? And you're like, geez, I don't feel bad for the guy. I don't want to not stand up and look like an idiot, but I'm not buying your course. And yeah, everybody kind of looks at each other and it's like, oh, geez. And then they all walk to the back of the room. That's not the way to do it, okay? A table rush is an amazing, energetic, electric thing that happens when you've earned the right to proceed and ask people to invest in your course. And it can be awesome. These are examples of different cities I've been in with a table rush. It literally people in this upper left-hand corner filling out order forms to buy my $1,000 product while they're asking questions. We're taking selfies. More questions and answers. God, this is the best part when you get an opportunity to actually get off the platform, come down, and meet with your audience. It's a beautiful, there's nothing salesy about it, okay? There's just nothing salesy about it. Let me take you to Los Angeles. All right, 2011. All right, so where did we leave off? We left off in Sydney, Australia. That was in the end of July, 2011. Now, this is it, guys. This is the big one. This is what the room looked like before I went up. This is the MC introducing me at the event. There's about 700 people in this room. And I ended up on this stage because the person I spoke for in Sydney, Margine, said, you've got to have this guy on your stage. And Margine saw me at an event when there was 20 people. Okay? Are you following me so far? Nothing special. I wasn't a member of a speaker association. I didn't know anybody. I just showed up at different events with 20 people. All right? Where there was here's the thing. You want to get booked on stages, go to events and network with fellow speakers, because you know what? The people who are speaking at events have their own events. I'm speaking in LA next month at an event of a guy who's on stage with me in June at a different place, okay? So that's how that stuff happens. 700 people in the room. I'm shaking in my boots because now I've got the secret sauce. I've got the audience, I've got the product, and I've got the message, and I'm going to crush it. And I know I'm going to crush it. But I never thought I was going to crush it to this extent. Mary Glorfield, who's the former executive VP for Tony Robbins Companies, was the one that got me to this event, brought me there. Guys, look at those numbers. Gross sales. This is a 90-minute presentation. $140,000. It was a 50-50 split, so I netted $70,000. It cost me $2,000 to get to LA and stay there. And I probably spent a little bit more because I celebrated after I only spoke for 90 minutes, okay? So I netted $68,000, and I sold $150,000 after the event, back-end coaching, 10, 20, 50, $100,000 coaching programs. And this is the same thing you're going to do when you know how to do it. And that's when my life changed forever. And I realized, wow, this only took me 13 months to figure this out. And Mary Glorfield also happens to be my biggest fan. She books me. I actually just spoke to Tony Robbins coaches, all of the Tony Robbins coaches 2 months ago on a live webinar, and coach them on podcasting, for example. So this is the power of having the trifecta when you have the message, the product, and the audience. And this is why I want you to launch your own speaking career. Guys, this took me 13 months, okay? 13 months. That's it. And now that I know what I know, I can bring this information to you and help you get these type of results. And look, maybe you don't make $218,000. Maybe you make $21,000. Would that be okay? I mean, seriously. I mean, would that be, I mean, heck, at this point in time, I would have taken $2,000 to speak anywhere, anytime, any place. It's such an amazing career. All right. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let me show you. I'm going to wrap this up. We got maybe another 10 minutes or so. And then I'll take any questions. I'll stay as long as you want me to stay on the webinar. But let me just give you an example of how you can earn money in the next 30 days. All right. First, I'm going to take a sip of water. You guys getting some good value, by the way? I know I've been doing most of the talking here, but type into the question box. Are you finding the information? Because it helps me craft my presentation for the future as well. Do you find this information valuable this evening? Super. Okay. Very good. Very good. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Brian and James and Raja, thank you. Justin, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. Hey, look, if you say, Sam, this sucks, please let me know as well, because I'm not too proud. I got thick skin, and I want to make sure I deliver the best webinars. I only do these once a week. And I'm telling you, man, my passion is training speakers. It really is, because I just think there's so much crap out there in the marketplace. I'm just going to say it, man. I have to say it. I just think there's so much crap out there that when you learn to do it the right way from someone who's really done it and they're authentic, and I think you can do very, very well. Very well. Okay, let's take a look at this. What if you held your own half-day event? I'm just saying a half a day, something like maybe 9 to 1, okay, 9 a.m. to 1 in the afternoon. or maybe 5 in the afternoon till 9 at night. 20 people show up, and using what I teach you inside the Speaker Success Vault, let's say 25% of them bought your product, the course that you put together. All right. That's 5 sales. Your product is priced modestly at $300. And I teach you inside the training as well how to price your products. But let's just say it's $300. You've got 5 people at $300. You've just banked $1,500 for a half day. Not even a half day of, and it's most likely going to be more than that. So where would you host this event? Well, there's hotels in every town. And where I started hosting my own events, for example, you ever been to like a Hampton Inn or a Courtyard and you walk in and they've got the continental breakfast area where they're serving breakfast, and off there's usually a room, and it's a conference room. Excuse me. And it holds about 30 to 50 people or so. And you go up to the clerk at the front desk and you say, hey, does that room ever get used? They're like, no, never. I said, great. I'll throw you $50. I want to use it this Saturday for 4 hours. And be like, oh, I got to talk to my manager. And the manager comes back and says, well, it's really a $300 room. So look, I'll give you $75. Done deal. Why? Because the room ain't getting used anyway. You're not ordering any food. Nobody's getting put out. All they got to do is literally unlock the door for you. And you've got your event. There it is. There's your presentation. It's exactly how you're going to make anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000, guys. Your very first time, all you need is the message and you need the product. That's it. As far as an audience goes, I mean, you can get 20 people in a room. And Gordon So, inside of, let me just show you. Let me just take you in. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm kind of jacked up now. I'm kind of fired up. So I hope you don't mind if I get fired up. I want to show you the Speaker Success Vault, okay? Let me just show you, because Gordon So is one of the promoters. Here it is, the Speaker Success Vault. Okay, it's videos, audios, interviews, and documents. And let me just show you, where's the interviews? Here we are. Gordon is a global promoter. He books speakers on stages all around the world. In this interview, he shares strategies and insights on how to host your own events. I just talked about that. Get people to show up and eventually catch the eye of promoters to get booked on outside stages. So what's going to happen? You have the audio file that you can stream live right here in the members area. You have the audio you can just download it to your smartphone or your computer and listen to it. On top of that, we also have a summary of notes for the interview right here. Here's the interview with Gordon. And it really highlights and brings out the best parts of the interview. So if you're someone who likes to skim and scroll, there you go. There's the interview transcribed for you. And not only do I do that, it's a 12-page transcription of the interview I did with a global promoter, Gordon. Remember Mary Glorfield, the lady that booked me, Tony Robbins' associate, executive VP? Here's the interview I did with Mary. She talks about same thing, how to get booked on stages and how to make a career out of professional speaking. Guys, she's produced over 1,000 events in over 58 countries. She traveled with Tony Robbins everywhere. Everywhere he went, she set everything up for him. Would that be somebody that you would like to learn from? Okay. Joel Comm. Joel's a New York Times bestselling author, keynote speaker. He just did a TEDx speech in Denver. Joel comes on and gives an amazing interview as well. These are all audio files. These are all PDF transcriptions. And guys, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg of what's inside. Let me show you the amazing training here. We've got videos and videos and videos, the 3 parts to your presentation, what you should include, establishing your credibility, all of this stuff. I won't go through every single one, but these are videos upon videos. This is just part 1, topics to talk about. Okay? What do I talk about? How do I put together my presentation? Here's the body of your presentation right here. And this is me in front of the whiteboard guy, literally teaching you step by step. And, oh, by the way, this is an awesome one. Okay, there's 11 videos in this section here alone. This is my entire PowerPoint presentation, my multi-million-dollar presentation that I have never shown to anybody outside of private coaching clients. I break every slide down inside here, so you can just take my slides, the psychology of them, and just copy it. All right? And use your own. Look at these. Remember I told you, all text, not a lot of, I don't spend a lot of time on the creative part. I spend most of my time speaking on stage, and I use these. There's a psychological pattern interrupts to them as well. It's everything that you need to put together. Guys, just take my entire PowerPoint presentation and just copy it. All right? And I'm not even done adding content to the Speaker Success Vault. But I just want to show you what's in there right now. That's kind of a taste of that. Would you find that valuable? Oh, hold on before you answer that question. Here's some resources for your speaking business. Lighting equipment for your home studio, green screen systems, how to create your own interview for event planners. If you've never been interviewed on TV, no worries. I'll show you how to set up your own interview studio so you can have somebody interview you and it looks like it's been done professionally. How do you record on your smartphone? This is a must-have. The mini tripod that I use, also for Periscope. And going shopping for your speaking tools, I show you everything you're going to need for your presentation, from a movie screen to an LCD projector to your mouse clicker to everything. Guys, we don't miss a boat inside the Speaker Success Vault. So let's get back to this one here. Let me ask you a question. How would you like to create your own unique message, one that can never be copied? Guys, nobody's going to be able to copy this presentation that you put together. If you build a piece of software, it'll be copied. It'll be on a torrent site within 60 days. You can't copy your presentation, though. That's the beauty of this business. Would you like to learn the skills on presenting your powerful message the right way? Duplicate my exact PowerPoint presentation like I just showed you. Create a product that sells every time to your ideal audience. Keyword ideal audience. Where are they? You'll find them. Have people running to the back of the room, credit card in hand, without sounding salesy. You don't got to be a salesperson, guys. You don't need to be. You'll still be a six-figure speaker. Learn how to position yourself with promoters. That's very important. This is how you get booked on stages. And look, start earning $5,000 and up from a single presentation. Not only is it possible, it's probable with the information I'm going to share with you inside the Speaker Success Vault. It's the #1 authority site for speakers. I showed you everything in there, from the training videos, the interviews, the webinars, templates, everything we got going on. And it's a one-time payment of $497, or I've broken it up into 6 payments of $99. You can literally get started right now. In like 5 minutes, you can get into Speaker Success Vault and get started. Whichever payment plan works for you. Just go to speakersuccessvault.com to make your purchase and join everybody else that's already in there. And here's the bonus, because you're on the live webinar with me this evening. When you purchase tonight, we're going to go ahead and schedule you and I, and it really will be me. It's not going to be some assistant or anything like that. A 30-minute strategy call only for those who purchase on the live webinar tonight. So go over to Speaker Success Vault, and this is a lifetime membership, by the way. So anytime I add new content, new videos, any type of live event, webinar, there's no increased cost. It will never be priced any lower than it is today, and you will have lifetime access to the best speaker training on the planet. All right? Here's what the order form looks like. When you go there, just fill out your name, address, zip code, all that good stuff. Make sure you click the button, a single payment of $497 or 6 payments of $99. When you hit the place order button, you're going to receive an email from me giving you immediate access to the Speaker Success Vault. And we are going to schedule your 30-minute strategy call with me. Okay? Now, for those of you who still have questions and answers, I am happy. Matter of fact, I'm excited to answer those. So if you have any questions at all about anything that we talked about this evening or about the Speaker Success Vault at all, fire them away inside the question box, and I'll stick around and answer them. What do you think, guys? So far, let's get us some feedback as well from the presentation. We still have everybody still on that was here at the beginning. Give me your thoughts. I was just taking a drink of water, by the way. So if you heard me go quiet there, everybody must be filling out the order form. That's even better. I'll give you time there to fill out the order form and not have to type your question into the question box. And look, if you don't have a question, that's great too. Go ahead and go to speakersuccessvault.com. And then we'll set up your 30-minute strategy call. We'll get you inside the Speaker Success Vault, and you will start learning how to really get involved and build your own career. I mean, if not now, when are you going to do it? You know, if not now, when? So if we don't have any questions, we will exit. Appreciate it, John. Appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thanks for being on tonight as well. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Is there another chance for the same offer? Well, I do this webinar every Wednesday night. So if tonight is not... Hey, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it, buddy. If tonight doesn't work for you, let me just hit the webcam too. See, am I on my... Oh, there I am in all my glory. As I say that jokingly. You guys are like, this guy's serious? This guy's serious? Yes, every Wednesday night, Justin. So come on board. Look, financially, if it's not the right time, it's not the right time. I'm not going to hard sell anybody and do a product because it wouldn't be a good fit for you at that time. Right now, though, if you know that, hey, man, I got to get this thing rocking and rolling. I've always wanted to be a speaker. I want to monetize my message. Then you got to come on board. And the 30-minute strategy call will do a lot for you as well. Okay? Thank you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Great crowd tonight. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm going to shut the training down only because I'm going to stop the recording as well because I want to keep a clean recording for everybody that is going to be watching the replay. So if you are on my email list, then you will most definitely see the replay tomorrow in your inbox. You can catch that. Those of you that purchase tonight, you'll get an email from me scheduling our 30-minute consultation. And we can talk about anything, man. We can talk about your speaking career. We can talk about your sales funnel, your marketing plan, your online presence, whatever, wherever you want to go, man. We will make the best out of those 30 minutes ever. Ever. All right. My name's Sam Crowley. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for your time. It was great spending time with you this evening and sharing the message and the power of your speaking career. And I will see you inside the Speaker Success Vault. All right. You guys have an amazing day. All right. Have the best day ever. Take care. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter too. Follow me at Sam Crowley for all the updates. Take care, everybody.